Live from the Shadow Creek Golf Course in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's time for the final episode of the season, our special Masters edition of Behind the Book, brought to you by the Play MGM app. It is Behind the Book, the sports betting series that we give you every week from MGM, brought to you by the Play MGM app. Gil Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network, and my co-host, the star of the show, Vice President of Racing Sports, MGM Resorts International, Jay Rood. What's happening, Jay?
Hey, we got a special guest today. We're talking about a really fun sport that I think I love to bet. I love to book.
Yeah.
I think you love to bet.
I love to bet. They finally had enough of you and I pontificating about this stuff every week. We brought in somebody who actually plays the game.
And knows what he's talking about.
And we're talking about Ryan Moore, professional golfer. Ryan, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Before we get into everything that you've done this year, you're playing so well as you head into the first major of the year at Augusta, the Masters, of course. Talk about, for us a little, if you would, what this particular golf course, because we are here at beautiful Shadow Creek. It's a Tom Fazio course, 72 holes, 7,560 yards, $47 million it took to put together this wonderful setting here. But this course has a special place in your life as it is right now.
It does, and I tell everybody I think it's top 5 golf experiences you can have in golf, period. It's an amazing facility. It's an amazing golf course. The condition they keep it in here is basically tour quality condition at all times. It's just a fun golf course to play. I mean, it's such a unique experience, and I'm fortunate enough to get to come and play and practice out here quite a bit, being a local, and I consider myself very fortunate that I get to come to an amazing facility like this.
Yeah, you're a family guy, you have a wife and kids, and you can get in a certain amount of holes in a nice little window, works into your day very nicely. You're having a phenomenal season so far. Coming off a tie for 5th at Arnold Palmer Invitational. That among many great finishes this year, 3 top 10s, 4 top 25s. You're headed into Augusta, and that's a course, the one major, obviously, where it's the same course every year. You have had an amazing historical success there as an amateur. 2005, tied for 13th. 2010, a tie for 14th. 2015, tie for 12th. And then last year, 7 strokes behind the eventual winner, Sergio Garcia, tied for 9th. So this has been awesome for you. Tell us, when do you head to Augusta? How does your preparation take place here in the next few days?
The Masters is such a special week, and it's an amazing place, getting to go to Augusta every year, and it's the one place I'll actually go a little earlier than maybe a normal tour event. So I head down there the Sunday before to kind of get a little extra practice in. It's the one place I really look forward to my practice rounds. Very, very rarely do I look forward to my practice rounds at PGA Tour events. These are places I've played 50 plus times in my career, and they can be long and slow, and man, at the Masters, and just getting to play Augusta every single day. I get out there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and play every single day, and get my reps in on the course. Just get comfortable with the conditions that it's going to be that year. It's always in such phenomenal shape, and it's a very consistent product. But little things can change. How much is running out in the fairway, how firm, and how fast the greens are. You got to get the feel of it and kind of see how it's all going to play.
Has there ever been a point in your career, maybe there has been, but any that has been better than this stretch where you feel as comfortable? You were telling me off camera you've never been quite this healthy in recent years?
Yeah, I've put a lot of time in the last couple of years to the physical side. Just trying to I had some nagging injuries that were bothering me over time, and it was just time to deal with that. I'm getting into my mid-30s, and this should be like a prime time for my professional golfing career, so it's time to take care of those things and get myself feeling better and moving better. And the good golf lately, I think, has been a sign that I've put the right work in, and I'm probably feeling the best physically that I've felt going into the Masters of any year that I've played it, and I've been fortunate enough to play it quite a few times.
It isn't just Tiger Woods who has ailments, apparently. I'm told.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
I mean, the schedule these guys keep is ridiculous. The off season is, I mean, I guess it can be dictated by, what you want to do and how much time you value with your family and stuff. But I mean, they could play year round if they wanted to. I mean, that's a crazy, no recovery time, because 4 rounds of golf is every week. That's brutal. I mean, I would have a really hard time with that. Definitely. I have a hard time with 18.
Right.
I'm ready to shave it down just to doing 9 every now and then.
We'll talk more with Ryan Moore, Jay Rood, obviously, here on Behind the Book in moments. Talk about what the profile is, what characteristics you need as a golfer to excel at Augusta. We'll talk to Ryan Moore right here on Behind the Book, coming up. Brought to you by the Play MGM app. Time for today's Ask the Pro question. This is a good one. It has to do with this golf course right here. It's for you, Ryan. It is from the Twitterverse. Question is from a gentleman who says, this golf course, Shadow Creek, a Steve Wynn, Tom Fazio classic course, on their bucket list to play. You've played it so many times. What is your single favorite hole on this golf course?
That's pretty tough out here because there's some just phenomenal golf holes, really all the way around the golf course. But for me, if I had to pick one, I love hole number 4. It's a great par 5 that really challenging off the tee. It's got, it's a big hole all the way around the water, but you can kind of bite off some angle if you're willing to challenge it and try and carry bunkers from the back tees that are maybe 280, 290 to give yourself a chance to go for the green in 2. And it's just a great risk-reward par 5. I think it's one of the more beautiful holes out here, and it's a great scoring opportunity. I've made some eagles on it, but at the same time, I've made bogeys, doubles, and worse on that hole from trying to be a little too aggressive and hit in the wrong places.
He's made some eagles on it, Jay.
Yeah, see, I would go for a par 3 where I could definitely avoid the snowman, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hole number 4, that's your answer. Ask the Pro each and every week right here on Behind the Book. Live from Shadow Creek here in Las Vegas, Gil Alexander from VSiN, Jay Rood, Vice President, Race and Sports, MGM Resorts International, and of course, the star of today's show, professional golfer Ryan Moore. He of UNLV fame, NCAA champion as an amateur, also U.S. amateur champ as well, and a guy who is more and more of a mainstay on golf leaderboards seemingly each and every week. Ryan, Jay and I know this from having played Augusta, but no, we haven't played. But we know as a generality that what excels at Augusta is not necessarily accuracy. Guys who have the greatest accuracy, the course doesn't really play to that. It's all about the big hitters, and that's sort of the headline that everybody gives. But as someone who's actually played the course and with such success through the years, what would you add to that? What is the profile that makes for a consistently good golfer at Augusta National?
You're right. Length is a big part of it, and I think historically guys that hit it farther in recent history, Bubba Watson, for example, has had a lot of success there because he hits it so far and he curves it properly. And but then you've had a Zach Johnson win there in the last however many years,
right.
And he hits it not very far, and he's a control guy and a great wedge player. So I'd say as a golfer, it definitely favors somebody who hits it far, but the changes they've made to the course over the last few years is making driving a little bit more of a premium. So now you can't just hit it far and all over the place. Like there's a good 5 or 6 holes now that are much more difficult driving holes than they used to be. I played there first in 2003, I believe, and yes, it's the same golf course, but it's not the same golf course anymore. There's so many tee boxes they've stretched back out. They've put trees in and narrowed those corridors up, and I think they've tried to make driving a little bit more of a premium out there. But really, it's a golf course that challenges every aspect of your game. You can hit it far, that's great, but the greens are treacherous, and if you're leaving it on the wrong side of the hole, you're going to 3-putt 5 or 6 times a day. So managing that properly, understanding where to leave it. So there's a lot of different aspects that matter on that course, and I think that's what makes it great. Is I think of all the courses we play in majors, I think it's the most open to different types of players having a chance to win out there, because you can be a great wedger and a great putter, and that's going to give you a great chance on that golf course because you're going to be able to score on the par 5s, and you have enough shots a day where you can take advantage of it.
And you mentioned the par 5s there, because really that's where the scoring happens. So when you go and you play your first practice round, you said on Sunday you're going to try to get 9 in. Are you particularly focused on, okay, do you have that in mind? Par fives, generally speaking, that's where the scoring is going to happen. Are you looking at the iconic holes like Amen Corner? How is it that you approach that when you're practicing?
Yeah, I mean, par fives do matter so much. That's your best opportunities to make birdies around the golf course. So figuring out how you're going to play it. For me, it's figuring out those numbers where I know if I hit it to this club, I'm going to go for the green. But if I'm a little bit outside of that, if it's a little bit of an awkward lie, like it's hard to explain how awkward of a lie you're hitting off of on hole 13. Yes, you're hitting a 5 or 6 iron sometimes, but you're hitting on like a 45-degree right to left slope with water right, and there's bunkers left, and you're carrying it over the water, and there's wind swirling through there. Like, it's a really uncomfortable shot. So for me, it's about knowing, like, hey, if I get to this club, I'm comfortable and I'm going to go for the green. Beyond that, I'd rather lay up. I'd rather take my chances from 85 yards to make my birdie, and not make a bogey or double from trying to be too aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's the course management side of it that really, really matters. And there's guys that can really sling it around there and hit a 7 or 8 iron into that hole. I'm not one of those people, so I have to kind of, make those determinations as I go and feel that out, early in the week.
Could you imagine if you and I had those issues of minutia when we were navigating a golf course? Like, I don't want to hit it there,
the conditions
Jay,
he just described. I mean, I think the piece of equipment that I would use to help me determine that would start with a ch.
Yeah.
And then I would have a couple of drinks and then probably try and figure out which club I would pick. And it wouldn't be a wedge because I'm not a wedger, that's for sure. I can't hit the wedge. The wedge is one of the scariest clubs in my bag. So, but I wanted to ask you about that. How much do you think the equipment has brought to the game and changed the game and made it more parity, right? We always talk about parity in the NFL.
I think it's certainly an aspect of it. To me, what's happened is the biggest change in equipment is the golf ball goes straighter. At higher speeds, I think these guys are able to hit it, and the ball spins much less and curves side to side, much less. So they're able to be a little bit more aggressive. The ball's not going to go as much offline if it's mishit. To me, that's the biggest thing in equipment. Drivers and stuff like that, they really don't go that much farther than they did 10 years ago. The reality, I just saw a great thing on the other day. The average age of the players on tour keeps going down every single year. The average height keeps going up. The average swing speed keeps going up. So yes, you can say it's equipment, but the average swing speed now is 4 or 5 miles an hour faster than it was 5, 6 years ago. And that's a significant amount. That's why these guys are hitting farther. They're bigger, better, stronger athletes.
Different, just like
playing
the NFL.
The game. Exactly. So yes, part of it, it's a minor part of it, the equipment. But to me, it's more the golf ball and the curvature of the golf ball, not the distance of the golf ball. I feel like the ball just doesn't curve the amount it used to curve.
Interesting. Ryan, we wish you all the luck in the world. I know it's happening. Obviously, tie for 9th last year at Augusta. We hope you do just as well, if not win it all. And if you do win it, describe what that is for you, just personally, for your career. I mean, can you even imagine what that feels like, or you just don't know until it happens?
I mean, it's one of those. It'd be probably hard to fully, understand it unless you've done it. But for me, I've won 5 times on the PGA Tour in my career, and have not won a major yet. So really, any major win would be huge at this point. But Augusta would be so special, having, I've been playing there since I was an amateur, and have had such a history of playing there, and just the whole tradition and everything that comes with it. The fact that you get to come back every single year and you just become like one of their own, in a way, and just the tradition of what it would bring to you is it would be incredible. So I'm going to do everything I can. I hope that I'm the guy holding the trophy at the end and putting the green jacket on. So we'll see. I know I speak on behalf of everyone at RAMGM. We hope you are wearing the green jacket on Sunday as well. Appreciate you being on the show today. Absolutely. Thank you.
Ryan Moore, Vegas' own, right here on Behind the Book, brought to you by the Play MGM app. Back on Behind the Book, Gil Alexander from VEASAN, Jay Rood, Vice President, Race and Sports, MGM Resorts International, from lovely Shadow Creek Golf Resort here in Las Vegas. Rated as perhaps the greatest golf course in the state of Nevada, always on the top 10 list of greatest golf courses around the country. You've played it before.
I've played it twice before, yeah. came out here with my son when he was really young one time. We played, and he was hooked. He played high school golf, and it's a great course. I mean, it's like Ryan said, best course I've ever played. I mean, PGA shape. It's PGA tough, too.
Yeah, well, Augusta National, PGA tough as always. It's golf's first major, the only major that is played on the same golf course every single season. And for the bettors, from a betting standpoint, it is the greatest golf handle of any tournament every single season. You're expecting double, triple the handle? What do you think?
We'll probably be getting close to double the handle on this just because everyone is, Tiger's been doing well. He's coming back, it looks like. Phil just had a great tournament a little while ago.
One in Mexico.
Yeah, and everyone just is kind of rounding into form. I mean, Ryan's been playing really well, going back to last year. A lot of expectations from a lot of guys.
And Rory McIlroy, of course, winning recently as well. So everybody, the whole confluence of events leading to major excitement for the Masters. We'll start with the headline. Where is Tiger Woods right now to win this tournament at MGM?
We currently have him at 10-1. Somebody moved him down when I wasn't at
Say
the
this
office.
So sheepishly.
So he'll be back up to 12-1. I don't want Tiger to be less than 12-1. I mean, realistically, at 12-1 is still a fairly short price for a guy that's coming back from whatever he's come back from, and the competition level that is elevated since he's really been in his prime.
Yeah.
So 12-1 is a fair price.
Best Tiger Woods odds in town, by the way, at 12-1.
I would imagine in the world.
In
That's
the
what I'm
world.
trying to do.
Excuse me, Jay, in the world. Shortest shots, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, somewhere in that pocket. Those two guys
Spieth,
right now.
yeah,
Spieth as well.
in there, just a lot of the guys that you would think get bets. Phil Mickelson is probably shorter than what he should be too. But
Yeah. The wonderful thing about having Tiger, we sort of talk about Tiger with a smile on our face because he hasn't won recently, and so we don't know how he'll do. But the fact that he is in the 12-1 range means that everybody else's odds are more favorable, right? Because you have to do that equation.
Right. Rising tides raise all boats. So, it's kind of that. There's a lot of value, I think, on the board right now.
Yeah.
My personal pick that I said a while back, I think Jason Day at 20-1 is great value. Obviously he's coming off a year that was just ridiculously horrendous for him from a personal level and on the play level. I'm sure it affected him. I think that's great value. I mean, this guy probably should be closer to the 10-1 range, but being overlooked.
I'm going to go Tommy Fleetwood at 40-1. How about that for an off-the-board shot right there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's names up and down. Like I said, there's 60 guys that could win this.
Biggest liability is Tiger, though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What are we talking? 6 figures?
Yeah.
7 figures?
Not quite to 7 figures, but it's pretty deep. I mean, we had him at 100-1 about 4 months ago, and of course, a lot of people, I'll put $5 on it, I'll put $10 on it. At 100-1, things accumulate. I didn't really think we would ever be in this spot where he was down to 10-12-1.
Yeah.
But people get excited. He plays a couple of good rounds. I don't believe that he's got what it takes to put 4 rounds together against this kind of a field.
We shall see. Jay gambling against Tiger, perhaps, is the way to put it. I don't know if you'd put it that way, but we'll see what happens. The greatest golf event of the year, I think most people would agree, the first major at Augusta, the Masters. Come and bet it all up and down the Strip at MGM Resorts Properties. Behind the book, MGM Resorts International, brought to you by the Play MGM app. This has been a phenomenal year, and we will wrap it up momentarily as we head into the Masters here at Augusta. Jay, always a pleasure to be alongside you for this Behind the Book series. A second season in the books, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yes, maybe
Appreciate
we get
it.
a Webby this year.
Yeah, can we get a Webby? That would be up to you. We're not begging for a Webby. For Jay Rood, Vice President of Races and Sports at MGM Resorts International, Gil Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network, thank you so much for watching each and every week on Behind the Book, brought to you by the Play MGM app.